feel like most people are fairly familiar with Shin Ramyun, at least as long as they live in Asia and or have a Costco nearby. I myself have only had it once. It was early in my college days and I was still deciding if I liked spicy food. 8-ish years later, the answer is yes, I like spicy food. So while I distinctly remember it burning through my sinuses the first time, I'm interested to see if my experience is any different after years of damaging my taste buds with different varieties of fiery food. Preparation is standard. Boil the noodles, put them in the broth. It's that simple. Okay, well, technically it has a vegetable packet to go in the soup, but I can tell by looking through the semi-transparent packet that it has nothing but green onions, carrots, and possibly mushrooms inside. So because this is my show, and because I'm very familiar with how crappy vegetables can ruin a good soup, I'ma do this, and make the soup the way I want to eat it. I chose to eat it from a glass bowl because I have a vivid memory of the soup being like electric red. And judging from the color of the soup base, my memory is correct. If I were just looking at this and couldn't smell it, I'd venture it was a combination of brown sugar, paprika, chili powder, and cayenne, which, by the way, sounds like it would make a killer meat rub. Once the noodles have been cooking for 4 to 5 minutes depending on how al dente you want them, add them to the soup base along with the pasta water. There are specific measurements you're supposed to use, usually around 400 to 500 milliliters I think. Honestly, when you've been cooking and eating ramen as long as I have, you just kinda eyeball it after they boil. Like this. Okay, so it's not exactly red, but it's a very intense orange. And I'm actually getting serious SpaghettiO vibes from it. You know, spice notwithstanding. Because I can't shake the feeling that I'm about to lose all the feeling in my face, and in the interest of candor, I admit that I have a glass of milk on standby to help me through the bowl. Now let's dig into these spicy-os. Wow. That initial hit of spice is intense, but actually pretty tolerable. Surprisingly enjoyable, honestly. Ooh, baby, and it gets you on the back end, too. But it's not just spice for the sake of spice. There are layers of flavor inside it. The more I eat, the more layers I find. Like, yes, my mouth is on fire, and yes, I'm starting to cry, and yes, I've taken more than one sip of my safety milk, but it's not all flame and pain. There's onion and black pepper, garlic, and a little bit of sweetness that comes through on the tip of your tongue. The predominant flavor is spice, but if you really take the time to taste it, there's a whole orchestra going on in the background. I'm very afraid of it, but it's time to taste the broth. Wow, the spice directly hits your throat and burns the whole way down. That is intense, but again, if you bother to find it, there's a lot to savor there. I may be coughing and sputtering, but there's love in my human limitation. I seriously have only good things to say about this bowl of ramen. It's a delight for spicy ramen lovers, and for the brave who aren't afraid of a little fire, it's a great introduction to the world of incredibly hot ramen. As much as it's going to hurt me, I'm gonna do one better than just finishing the noodles. I'm going to empty the entire bowl, broth and all. I have a sore throat and I'm too afraid to wipe the tears out of my eyes, but I regret nothing. Good laws, that hurts. I am going to hold a little milk in my mouth to see if it'll help the pain go away. But I would hurt myself this way again. Until then, stay sweet.